I was approaching a certain age and wanted to consider my options for retirement. And I went along to a retirement seminar in London, and it so happened that Abby was speaking at that seminar, and I can't say I went up there. There was a financial guy speaking as well, and that initially was my main interest. And then Abby spoke, and I thought, wow, this is impressive. And I then sort of spoke to Abby about coming down to speak to us about what would be involved in the sale of the practice.
I'm only a couple of years behind Ian, so we were both really approaching a point in our careers where it made sense to try and plan for these things, because certainly working closely as a partnership, expense sharing partnership, we had to make decisions really as a business pair. You couldn't really do these things individually. And so it made sense to look at all the options going forward.
In the work up to the sale, we wanted to maximise our profits to get the best value. So we initially went along with a business coach to do that, and sure enough, our profits increased. They then offered that they could sell the practice for us rather than going to an agent, which, the way they put it, sounded very enticing. Unfortunately, the way they structured it didn't bring in good offers from the buyers, and it left us really wondering whether we were doing the right thing or with the right people. So then, having had the encounter with Abby previously, I thought, hang on, we really need to go to somebody that knows what they're doing. So I then contacted Abby to say, please help us again.
And it certainly made a big difference, because I think that where we had been contacted or made contact to other brokers, well-known people, nothing really happened after that first contact, whereas Abby was proactive, was keeping in contact, and when we had questions was very quick to respond. We first met Abby at courses, as Ian alluded to, and the relationship continued, and we're very glad that it did, because Abby's always been very approachable. I can recall one time when, on an open phone call, you were cooking your pasta dinner, just coming from work, but that wasn't too much trouble. She just battled on through and helped us answer our questions. But on points of ordering the structure of the practice and the sale of the practice, she has a very, very clear insight into how things work, and made a big difference to us.
Yeah, I think it was around the time of the infamous Liz Truss budget, and it was quite turbulent, obviously, and I think Abby did incredibly well in negotiating a very good deal for us in the difficult circumstances. We owe a lot to Abby for the help that she gave us at that time.
Very much so.
I think compared to where we were initially, probably Abby was able to negotiate somewhere about a 30% increase in the value that we were looking at. I think it was interesting that, having approached some of the same buyers as had been approached originally, and also new buyers, that Abby managed to achieve somewhere about a 30% increase in the offers compared to what had been done originally. And again, trading buyers off one against the other was part of that it caused the offers to go up, as I'm very proud to say they all wanted us. But I think it's all about getting the competition and being able to sort of, somebody such as Abby knowing what they're doing, to be able to utilise that competition to create the maximum benefit.
And then I think also to go and nuance the deals themselves. So having achieved a value which we were happy with, to then be able to negotiate and manipulate the deals to favour us even further.
The tie-in period, if you like, was perhaps more important than it would have been for Miles. Whilst I hope that I was able to carry on working, and still at this moment intend to carry on working, I just wanted to have the flexibility in the deal that knew that if something untoward happened, I'd be able to sort of leave the practice sooner if that's what I needed to do. As it happens, as I say, I'm fit and well and enjoying carrying on doing what I'm doing.
I think it's evident that in many scenarios that we were introduced to, there were considerable tie-ins to offers being made, and those probably wouldn't have been Ian's first choice. And so with Abby's help, we were able to massage the offers with Abby's help, and to make them fit our priorities of running off afterwards there. So our commitment would still be there, but it wouldn't be a commitment that would tie us down indefinitely.
Think ahead, make sure you maximise your finances over the couple of years leading up to the sale. Make sure your paperwork is in order to allow that to be assessed by the buyer, and to find an agent who you're happy to work with, who best represents your interests. I mean, I do know somebody else recently who, like ourselves, tried to sell themselves, but they thought they were saving some money, and like us, found that in the end the offers they got in weren't what they were expecting, and they went to an agent, and sure enough their offers improved. So I've got no hesitation whatsoever in recommending anyone to go to an agent to get the best that they can possibly get.
I second that completely. Very few of us have the business acumen to know how to go about these sort of markets. It's something we're not familiar with on a regular basis. We're taught to build practices, to build markets, but we're not very good at selling it. And I think that you need to have the expertise. And as we've said before, someone who is approachable, will listen, and will then take on board your benefit, the requirements you really wanted to aim for, and push everything to try and achieve those goals. It's a difficult market, and you need someone that knows what they're doing and will focus on those areas and go the extra mile.
We're dentists, we're used to dealing with patients. When you're trying to sell a practice and dealing with the corporates, you're dealing with professional businessmen and salesmen who are used to sort of getting they're working in their best interests for their purposes. So we need somebody really who is familiar with the way things work to be representing us to create the best deal possible.
I would have no hesitation at all in recommending Lilyhead Dental Sales. There are many very excellent companies on the market, I'm sure, but Lilyhead, Abby in our case particular, was truly professional throughout, showed her expertise in the market on a daily basis when we had to call upon her help and support, and made a really big difference, both in our confidence but also in the eventual sale of the practice.
Abby, particularly in Lilyhead, were excellent in the way they represented us, and I too have no hesitation in recommending them to any other seller.